this week we will travel through prototype, the second step of the generate phase. In this step, the selected ideas, or as you already learned, the concept, is designed and implemented. With prototype, we move from divergent step of idea to the convergent one. As we know, in the design for innovation, each phase and step of the process is equally important to build solutions that are feasible, commercially viable, and, above all, human-centered. For a human-centered approach, prototyping is a really powerful way to make ideas tangible, learn through making, and quickly get critical feedback from people selected as your users during Explore. Through prototyping, the ideas become tangible so as to provide continuous learning. Prototyping is a way of thinking and designing. It helps you to make the idea finally tangible. Tangibility can tell much more than simply theory. This allows visualization and comprehension of the idea itself and its future development. It also helps to communicate and share the idea with others to get impactful solutions. In this step, we move from abstract concepts during the ideation step to the physical, tangible, real. This step aims at enriching and refining the idea through the development of tangible artifacts that make it concrete and that support building and visualizing the future envisioned solution. Through iterative cycle of testing and feedback, the idea is validated, supporting a continuous learning approach. The output of the prototype step is the final idea. In the end, the idea is described concretely. In order to reach the goal of this step, the team is provided with a series of raw materials such as string, cardboard, games, toothpicks, styrofoam, sticky tape, etc., with which they produce rough prototypes that visualize the selected idea tangibly. In the early stages, a rough prototype offers the possibility to try out many alternatives before achieving the best results and to collect useful feedback from colleagues and other people involved. Indeed, these activities designed for this step give way to constant reinterpretation throughout the prototyping activity to continuously reestablish priorities and achieve a collective product. By manipulating and assembling materials three-dimensionally, participants can assess the quality of their ideas, immediately determine its success within the group, and validate the innovation with a collection of feedback for further development. In the later stages, both the prototype and the demand could become more refined. A prototype can be anything that a user can interact with. A post-it wall, a role-playing game, an object, or even a storyboard. To face the prototype step, you have to freely prototype your idea with simple materials that are easy to manipulate and then implement and expand it. To do this, there are some key points to follow. Rapid prototyping. To start building your rough prototypes, use Creative Box with different materials to visualize the idea and make it tangible. By manipulating and assembling materials three-dimensionally, you are able to assess the quality of your idea. Pick a material that inspires you, modify it and position it to start giving a shape to the idea. Try to represent the idea as complete as possible, indicating the people involved in the idea, the context, the tools and the key components that enable the project. Enrich through reflection. After the initial prototyping phase, you have to expand the idea design by adding details or redesigning some aspect of your project. Through an evaluative thinking approach, you can improve the quality and the suitability of the idea generated for the challenge defined to develop innovative solutions. Describe the concept. After the idea is enriched through reflection, the concept should be described. Your project description and the sentences that summarize the key elements have to be as clear as possible. This mode will help when you have to refer to it after a while. Collect feedback. In the last part of the activity, you need to search for feedback and define the concept. It is fundamental to share the concrete idea with others to collect observations, suggestions, and comments about the developed idea. This helps to think on how to improve some aspects and rationalize all open thoughts, to further evaluate and improve through a cycle of convergent iterations. Let's start building your idea. Remember, when first moving from an idea on paper to a physical prototype, it should be pretty rough and scrappy. Here are some tips for you. Start building something. Don't worry about the aesthetic quality of the result. It doesn't need to be perfect or complete. Just pick up a material and make it good enough to get the idea across. Imagine how to use it to envision even just a part of idea and concentrate on using the prototype to help make the idea tangible. The activity needs a great deal of initiative, especially when the team is stuck. Try to encourage them by picking a material and building a part of idea. Feel free to use all the given materials in any way you'd like. A pen could turn into a magic wand, a straw with some colored stickers could turn into a traffic light, etc. Make all the prototype components clearly understandable. Assign a label to the elements that are not instantly visually recognizable. While you and the team are building the idea, it's important to create and tell a story around it. This will increase the team's involvement in the activity, creating a shared imaginative environment that allows easy visualization and envisioning of materials and objects as real components. If the team has difficulties on summarizing part of the idea, this could mean that it was probably not well defined in the project. In this case, you should invite the team to go back to the project and define the missing aspects better. When collecting feedback, you should be able to start and moderate a discussion and gather as many comments as possible. You can collect the feedback by yourself or ask participants to write it on post-its. Don't block or influence the comments in any way. The team should be inspired and stimulated. Have fun and keep on building with an open mindset, refraining from any kind of judgment. Within Prototype, you can use different methods, tools, and materials. A prototype can be anything that people can interact with. Not only a physical object, but a wall of post-it notes, an interface, a role-playing activities, or even a storyboard. Ideally, you could think toward something a user can experience. In the Activity Toolkit, we have included different methods and tools to help teams through the process phase. For example, the Creative Box suggests what you have to provide in order to go through this step. So our final hint. Practice what you have learned to understand it deeply. To help you in that, we have selected some tools that will guide you through this phase, empowering divergence and creative skills. Use them. Have a look at the resources we included in this week to learn more about this step and compare it with other design thinking models.